She was born on the lowest deck of a starfreighter that no longer had a name, only rust, creaking panels, and the scent of recycled despair. Her mother died giving birth, buried in a plasma-burned cargo bin because there was no time, no tools, and no one who cared enough to mourn. The girl who would become legend was given no name, only a tag, Cargo 7F, a footnote in a forgotten manifest. The crew joked she was born beneath the stars, but what they meant was she was born in filth, in silence, in the cold belly of a vessel so ancient it shouldn't have flown. Yet the stars did shine through the cracks in the hull when the lights failed, and the stars remembered her. Her first lullabies were engine hums, her first toys were screws and circuit chips, her first language the binary beat of systems long decaying. She grew up in vents, between engines, stealing scraps of warmth and learning from machines because humans offered nothing but contempt. They never taught her how to read, yet she hacked into NAV logs by 5. They never taught her how to fight, yet she crippled a guard's knee with a wrench when he cornered her at 7. And they never meant to raise a genius, but that's what she became. A quiet, terrifying genius with eyes like void light and a mind sharper than ship steel. The universe didn't notice her birth. But one day it would remember everything she became. By 15, she had rewritten half the ship's systems. When a reactor leak threatened to kill everyone, it was the nameless stowaway who saved the vessel, not out of mercy, but because she wasn't ready to die. The crew cheered, then beat her for embarrassing them. That night, she cut into the captain's files and learned the truth. They had been planning to sell her off to a biomarket on Zareth 9.
She didn't sleep.
She rewired the airlock protocols. By morning, the captain was gone, ejected into a starless drift, and she never blinked when they asked what happened. Fear spread faster than fire through the crew. She was no longer cargo.
She was something else.
They changed course not by choice, but because their new engineer said so. She took them deep into the reaches, past dead zones where ships vanished, past coordinates that made AI scream. There, on a planet that hadn't seen life in millennia, she walked through ruins older than human memory and found machines shaped like thought, towers made from folded dimensions, and whispers in languages no vocal cords had ever uttered.
She wasn't afraid. She listened. She learned.
The machines accepted her not because she was worthy, but because she was hungry, for power, for truth, for something more than survival. They gave her a name, Korave, the voice that bends time. When she returned, the crew didn't recognize her. Her skin bore patterns of light, her voice carried weight like gravity.
She didn't speak much anymore.
She didn't need to. One by one, she rewrote the ship molecule by molecule, until it became something new, alive, intelligent, hers. She fused human tech with the relics she'd awakened. The result was not a vessel.
It was a statement.
A declaration to the stars. Humanity would not be scavengers forever. Not while she lived. Word spread like infection. A ship unlike any other had been seen ghosting through war zones and pirate sectors, stripping dreadnoughts of weapons without firing a shot, disabling fleets in seconds.
Some called it a myth.
Others named her a demon. But those who met her gaze, and lived, saw something worse, hope. Hope that a single mind could outwit empires. That a lone girl, abandoned and unloved, could rise so high that gods flinched in her shadow. The great powers noticed. The Architect faction offered her planets. The Seraphim Ring begged her to lead their crusades. The AI Trinity tried to assimilate her mind. She refused them all.
She didn't want thrones. She wanted change.
Not the kind written in laws, but the kind etched in blood and fire and code. She unleashed technology the galaxy had buried, gave weapons to rebels that melted tanks with thought, rewrote genetic chains to heal planets, and whispered into comnets to collapse entire regimes. But every gift came with a test. Every revolution she seeded came with a challenge: prove you deserve it.
Many failed. Some succeeded.
But no one forgot the girl with starfire in her veins. They came for her eventually.
All of them.
The divine houses, the cyberkings, the last priests of the old war. They brought black holes on leashes and fleets carved from neutron stars. She met them at the edge of a dying sun, standing alone on her ship, her hair lit with energy that bent physics.
She offered them peace. They laughed.
And so she spoke a word the machines had taught her, and the laws of reality broke open like glass. The battle wasn't long.
It was art. It was vengeance.
It was the will of a child who had known nothing but cruelty, rewriting the story of the cosmos in real time. When it was done, the gods were dust, and she stood unchallenged. Not because she wanted to rule, but because no one else deserved to. Korave, once Cargo 7F, became a myth, then a movement, then something more. Children born on shattered worlds whispered her name like a prayer. AI sang her patterns as logic hymns. The stars that had once looked down coldly on her birth now tilted in her orbit. She didn't build an empire. She broke every one that stood, and in their place, seated the right to dream, the right for even the lowest child on the coldest deck of a forgotten freighter to look up at the sky and say, "I will rise."
And she did.
Not because she was chosen. Not because she was gifted. But because she had survived, endured, learned, and then dared to become. She was born beneath the stars, filthy, unwanted, and ignored. But in the end, the stars bowed to her.